Hello everybody, this is Podrick, also known as the Mask Guy, and welcome to the Masquerade number 4. This isn't necessarily going to be a special episode, but it's more about the PlayStation 2, because, well, I just like the PS2. I know I have a PS3 and it's great and everything, but there's a certain vintage feel about PlayStation 2s now at this stage, especially now that the PlayStation 4 has been announced, so it's kind of like half of it. It's like half the PlayStation 4. That's some basic maths right there. Yeah, and so I'm going to be reviewing 2 PlayStation 2 games today. There is Stealth Force: The War on Terror, which I can safely say is probably the worst PlayStation 2 game I've ever played, and probably bordering on one of the worst games I've ever played, full stop. And then the other one is still kind of a mini Time Eater thing, only that it's a classic Fantavision. It's kind of obscure. I think it's one of these games that's probably more Japanese than it is English, and you'll be able to tell that by the really creepy intro, that it's trying to be Western, but it just makes no sense. And yeah, of course I'm going to have the weekly shout out, and it's not necessarily going to be much news today, but it'll just be more me talking about PlayStation 2. So yeah, I hope you enjoy all that, and let's go right into it. Stealth Force: The War on Terror. Where do I even start with this game? It's pretty bad. Look, here's the box. So I have my hands inside this to keep them warm. Yeah, it's I don't think anyone's ever heard of it. I don't know. I've never heard of Midas Entertainment or Atomic Planet. To be honest, I bought this for a tenner in a supermarket, like, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago, I'd say. Maybe a little bit less because it was released in 2005. But yeah, it's very low budget. And there I can just list off things that are so bad about this game. The controls, the graphics, the general gameplay, the lack of variety in characters, the tedious missions, the unfair difficulty. I could go on for days. I could go on for hours. In fact, if I actually managed to sit through the entire thing at some point, I may just do a full playthrough of it. I have no idea how many levels are in it, but it's probably the game that has like 3 levels, but no one can finish them because the game is just so ridiculously difficult. One of the first things I noticed about this game is the controls are an absolute disaster. I mean, traditionally you'll have like for a PlayStation at least, you'll have the L1 button as an aim and R1 as a shoot, or maybe vice versa. This one, you press L1 and you crouch. R2 is shoot, and R2 is aim, and R1 is fire. X doesn't do anything. Square, if you have a grenade launcher, it shoots grenades. Triangle is reload, and circle also does nothing. Along with L2, start just pauses the game. Select also does nothing, and neither of the analog sticks do anything. So it's pretty confusing for that reason. I know there's like 2 controller setups you can have, but neither of them really are that good. Also, the graphics probably look more like good PS1 as opposed to bad PS2 graphics, or any PS2 graphics I've ever seen by that standard. And this is actually, well, when I say new, I mean it's not like a completely old game, it's just fairly badly made. And I mean, I know the graphics probably with the video quality mightn't be that great, but trust me, it's a hell of a lot worse when you're actually playing it. The hit detection in this game is an absolute nightmare, followed by the sensitivity, which, even though it's at the max, you still move slower than all the enemies can move, and a crosshair that doesn't actually let you aim at the enemies unless you're both standing completely still. There's a lot of things. Oh, also, when you try and pick up a health pickup, and if you're not looking at it, you won't pick it up. So you actually have to stop to look down, and then you can pick it up. Which, there's probably I've probably come across about 3 health pickups so far. And in between each one of those, my health has actually dropped, like, critically. And this is playing on the easiest difficulty, because after playing it on the hardest one, like, pretty much one shot killed me, and I just could not do it. If you shoot them in the body, you do barely any damage, but that makes enough sense because they're probably wearing body armor. But if you shoot them in the head, it's pretty much killing them straight away. At least it gives you a tiny little HP bar above their heads. Which I can see now the way, this is me turning as fast as I can. And there's people shooting me from behind, and I can't actually turn around fast enough to shoot them. Although maybe this game is actually just trying to
implement a heavy cover system, and I'm just, oh, I didn't even realise I had died that time. That's probably the disadvantage of playing this game without any sound.
I've got to say, one thing that actually gives this game some amount of realism, if not a bit too much realism, is that I'm actually breathing. And even when I'm trying to aim, it makes it awkward to shoot. Plus, after aiming, then the target or the reticule takes ages to actually get smaller again. But when I'm shooting from such a distance, it's not just sniper rifles that have the whole breathing sway. It's every gun. Also, everyone taking forever to shoot, which is slightly realistic, but kind of a pain in the ass too, because no matter how point blank you're shooting at them. Also, in most games, even on easy mode, the enemies actually occasionally miss. In this one, they just come in and ambush you, and wait until you're not like holding any guns, because the whole reload and running out of ammo thing happens way too often. I mean, you get a gun that starts off, has a grenade launcher and stuff, but that runs out of ammo ridiculously fast. And so once that's gone, you're kind of screwed. I mean, you pick up an assault rifle that pretty much every single enemy has here, so that's, you can resupply that one pretty frequently. But I mean, it's an overpowered weapon for them to have, and for you it does pretty much nothing. I mean, there's 40 rounds, and every time they empty a clip into you, it's probably like 1 or 2 squares of health off you, and your health is the little squares in the corner. But yeah, like, I'm trying to shoot this guy without even aiming, and he's walking faster than I can shoot. It's kind of unfair, really. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I don't mind the game if it's difficult and, you know, it kind of challenges you and all that. But it's just one of those games that's so badly made that it's actually, that the difficulty level is just unfair. And that a lot of things are just completely out of... In fact, I have no shame in saying that this is about my 4th time now going through this place. And just as a record, this is the first level on easy mode. And granted, I'll admit that maybe I'm bad at this game, but it's one of these games that I really don't see you being good at. What I found though when I started trying it out on this playthrough is that crouching and actually just being careful, because the game, it doesn't always cope, it doesn't always cater for having cover, but because sometimes the enemies just run at you, you know, balls to the wire. Fair enough, they're actually, you know, they probably play like if you were playing against real people, they'd probably behave more like this, that they wouldn't always just be hiding behind things, and they would just run at you and try and shoot you. And so in some ways it can be a little bit more realistic that some of them stay behind cover, like that guy and the other guy behind the wall, who was probably peeking out a lot less subtly than I think he is. Well, obviously now he's sticking out. Oh, there we go, he's dead. But yeah, this is the first mission. It's a rescue mission, and I'm rescuing the doctor from the terrorist group Elzar, which just always makes me think of Futurama, and it's like I'm rescuing Dr. Zoidberg. Oh, there's this guy. And I think that's hopefully all of the enemies on this floor, so now I'll actually get to rescue the doctor. Yeah, here's the open room, and she does run out right in front of me. And yeah, basically she's a human shield at the moment. And then once I finally get rid of this guy, then here's the doctor. Basically it's a reskinned version of everyone else, because, you know, you can see, yeah, she looks kind of like a woman. I don't know, kind of like a woman, and kind of like when you use the face changer on extreme in Gary's mod and all their features just become really messed up. Yeah, she looks horrible, and I don't even know what's wrong with her body. But yeah, as you can see, she looks like she's holding a gun. I mean, she's got her finger on the trigger and she's holding the barrel, even though there's nothing there. So it's just a really, really lazy reskin. Now I actually have no idea where I'm going, but maybe I'll get to finish the mission this time. I know I keep saying things weirdly. Might be able to finish the mission. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I finally got to actually do this. As far as I remember, I never even got past the 2nd level in this game though, just because it was so infuriatingly bad. Plus the fact it was a terrible game. I would say that maybe you can find it in shops, or if you look around eBay, you may very well be able to find it, but I honestly have no idea. So if you want to play this, I have no idea how hard you're going to have to look. I don't know how many copies of this game were even made, let alone sold. But, you know, I don't see anyone rushing out to buy this game. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if I had a rating, I would probably give it 1 out of 5, because at the very least it's playable. And that's about it. And for this week's mini time eater, it's Fantavision, which is a firework exploding game. It's another kind of a flashy, colourful thing. Kind of like Child of Eden, only less musical and a lot more simplistic. It's a Japanese import, most likely. I mean, it's in English, but it doesn't even say the manufacturer on the box. This is another one I bought for cheap, like years ago, because I found it in a pre-owned bin, and ever since I just saw it, and every time I saw it, I just walked past it and wanted it. And then one day I thought, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to buy it. And I did, and I must say it's pretty addictive. It's kind of easy, because basically all you have to do is just match up fireworks and colours, and then you detonate them. And there's this like kind of a scrolling city background. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of repetitive or whatever, but it's a bit of fun. It has to be said though that I have to read the back of the box. I don't know if it's clear there. Find great, crazy mad, out of head experience from Japan. I mean, it's pure translation. New fantastic time ahead with party game. People crowd round to watch, to play, to live in Fantavision. Okay, that's fair enough. Play and see and live and love with new fantastic time, Fantavision. Yeah, it just says the word Fantavision and fantastic time over and over again. Which is probably what it means, but yeah. This is very, very colourful. I love it. I mean, for this video again, I'm not going to have any voiceover, just because there's a lot of sounds and music and voices going on that I think it'd be better if you heard what's going on instead of me talking.
Good. Star. 4 chain. 5 chain. 3 chain. 3 chain. Star. Stage.
And with most PS2 games, I suppose you wouldn't really be able to find it in shops anyway. Because unless there's kind of old shops like that would have things like it. So if you're a pure kind of PS2 hardcore and you're going around looking for PlayStation 2 games, then you'll probably be able to find it no problem. But otherwise, I don't know how easy to get it's going to be. And now there's the pressing issue of what the hell is going on with my voice in those videos. I'll be honest, I've got no idea. I was using a capture cable thing, so to plug it into the PlayStation 2 and just record it on my PC. But whatever I was doing while I was recording it, I didn't notice. Obviously, I would have noticed my voice getting higher pitched. But when I was watching the videos afterwards, it just seems to like speed up and become more high pitched, and I've got no idea what is happening. But I had to keep it in. I was listening to it, and I just could not stop laughing. I don't know what happened. I'll see if I can fix it. But to be honest, I kind of half don't want to fix it. But just in case you think there's something wrong and that I haven't noticed, don't worry, I did notice that my voice was going really weird. But there's nothing I could do about it. I know I could try and fix the settings and re-record it, but I think I prefer it that way. So the reason this is a PlayStation 2 episode, I bought a PlayStation 2 weeks ago, one of the silver slim ones, and I got some games with it, and I got a controller. It's all pre-owned, but it's 50 quid, so I couldn't say no to that. And I played it a bit, but then other games came along, like I started playing Black Ops and Borderlands or whatever, and I just got really distracted. And so I would really like to get into playing the games, because some of them I got with it, but then I also just have this big pile of PS2 games that I still got, along with the other 2 that I did for the video. Some of them are great, some of them not so much. Like I have the very first Burnout, back when it was an arcade racer, and you couldn't run out of time. But yeah, I got some classics too, like Metal Gear Solid 2, Devil May Cry 3, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy X-2, Dirge of Cerberus. So there's some great games in there that I really would like to actually play through again, because, things like Dirge of Cerberus and I absolutely loved. And I've never ever actually played Metal Gear Solid 2. I was going to say Metal Gear Cry. I only briefly played the first one, and it's one of these games that if I gave it a chance I'd probably love it, because apparently everyone loves Metal Gear Solid. And so I would like to actually give it a fighting chance, because I probably would really enjoy it. And so yeah, I've wanted to kind of get into PlayStation 2 games again, and so I thought maybe this will get me in the spirit. And hopefully after I've played through some of the games properly, I'll come back with another more positive episode instead of things like hating on Stealth Force, and I'd be able to give you how much I love Metal Gear Solid, unless I end up hating it, in which case I probably wouldn't want to upload it because I'd lose the respect of a lot of people by saying that. I wonder if it's worth it. No. Sorry, like stroking my beard. Well, there's not much of a beard at the moment because I shaved, but that's irrelevant. Yeah. So, it hopefully won't be the first PlayStation 2 episode. Or maybe I'll try and do kind of different specifics of different consoles. Sorry, I got completely sidetracked there. But I do think that the PlayStation 2 is actually my favourite console. I know the next generation obviously has better games and they're better made and they got better graphics and they're just bigger in general. But there are some games that I really fell in love with on the PlayStation 2. Some examples being like Dark Cloud / Dark Chronicle. Final Fantasy X is one of my favourite Final Fantasies. I know there's loads of them, but that was definitely one of the top ones. I didn't give Final Fantasy 12 a chance, but it probably is a good game. Most of the Final Fantasy games really on it were good. Same with like Dirge of Cerberus. 11 I don't think really counts. I don't even know if that was on the PlayStation 2. And yeah, Kingdom Hearts. I didn't really play the DS or PSP ones as much, so Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 in particular I absolutely loved. And again, it's PlayStation 2 is how I started playing Rez, and I must say the Need for Speeds were pretty enjoyable on that too. I actually used to have a lot more games for it, but when the PS2 I used to have broke, then I traded most of those in, the ones that they would actually accept. And now that I have a PlayStation 2 again, I so deeply regret trading in those games. Same thing happened to me though when my DS broke, and I traded in all the DS games I had, and then, years later I ended up buying the 3DS and wished I had those games back. Granted, I do have the important ones back, like Animal Crossing and The World Ends With You. But, things like Pokemon Pearl and stuff I should have kept because, I'd finished it and had all the Pokemon and whatever on it. So, oh well. Regrets. But it's definitely my favourite console, and I really, really enjoy all the games on it. And I hate that the PlayStation 3 isn't backwards compatible. I know the original ones were, but then everybody said that they didn't work. Plus you can't get them anymore. And although I suppose I should probably count my blessings that at least the PlayStation 3 can play PS1 games, because apparently the PS4 is not going to be backwards compatible at all. So you'll actually have to keep your old consoles if you want to play the games for them, which I suppose in a way makes sense, but still kind of annoying. I probably shouldn't hold it with this. Hello. Thank you for my hot chocolate. Yeah, this week I haven't been very present on the internet, but that's because I've been spending the week. And now I should take my hand off these because I can't feel the hotness of the hotness chocolate. I've been spending this week with the lovely Tracy, or Tea Time Cat, as she's known as on Steam and Minecraft. Yeah, she's lovely. By the way, she's my girlfriend, if anyone hasn't noticed. She made me hot chocolate because she's lovely. Hello. Oh, there she is. Hello. Yeah, we were like cooking food, which is a big thing because I don't normally cook, and we're learning how to do my theory test for driving, which is also good because I don't know how to drive. And yeah, we were playing lots and lots of Sims because we love the Sims. We have little us's in the Sims. She's a cook and I am a singer and I'm almost famous. Yeah, we're completely obsessed with the Sims at the moment. If any of you follow me on Twitter, that will probably be reflected in Raptor constantly posting how many hours I've been spending in The Sims. I think I'm now ranked elite, or is that Terraria? Probably both at this stage. But yeah, it's such a fun game, and yeah, it's fun playing with Tracy because she's good at it, and yeah, it's lots and lots of fun. So this week I'm drinking hot chocolate, and I have my little pet Sonic. He minds my coins, which isn't really appropriate. If anything, I should put rings inside of him. because that would make more sense. But there's gold in him. Well, it's probably not real gold, but it's gold colored money. But yeah, there used to be chocolate coins in him, so that's probably less realistic. I almost forgot about my after eights. But for copyright reasons or whatever, I'm just going to keep on calling them after eights. I got a after eights Easter egg, and it comes with a box of after eights. And so the reason I want them now, because it's not Easter yet, or maybe it is if you're watching it on Sunday, and so I can put it in my chocolate, and it'll be like mint hot chocolate, or at least a hot chocolatey mint, hot chocolate mint after eight. No, it doesn't work. I think I have to put it in it and keep it in it. This is a great novelty though, because I think it's the first time I've ever owned my own box of after eights, so I can basically eat as many of them as I want. Obviously I'll share some with Tracy, but you know, I don't have to worry about other people wanting them. So yeah, I left oven in here now, and hopefully it'll melt. I'll get back to you on that. So this week's shout out goes to LynxWarlord on YouTube. He also has a Twitter. I'll link those. He does Call of Duty tutorials. He used to do Modern Warfare 3, but then Black Ops 2 came out, and so now he does Black Ops 2 videos, and he's really good at it. And he does these tutorials. There's like ones on, there's a few, like maybe 4 or 5 videos on like how to get better aim, or how to get better kill streaks, or how to even just get kill streaks, how to stay alive, how to win gunfights. He has all these videos, and they're actually really useful. Like, you know, he goes through everything step by step, and he kind of explains like different classes and how they can benefit you in different ways of winning and gaining experience. And they're really thorough, and I've learned a lot from them. I'll safely say that I've actually become a lot better when my internet isn't lagging, but I'm not going to get back into that. But when I have good games, then sometimes I just practice offline against like the harder computers, because that's what I'm reduced to now. And you know, I can actually do pretty well. Obviously, if I make the computer really hard, then a lot of the time the computer kind of cheats. I know it just sounds like I'm making excuses, but it does. But using the classes that he's made, in particular there's one where the PDW is the main weapon, and just everything else is just pure speed and just like invisibility and scavenger, and you just fly around the place and picking people off. It is such a powerful class if you want to just like rush them and flank them, and I just cannot underestimate how helpful his videos are, especially if you're kind of not that great but you want to get better and you want to try and get some of the bigger kill streaks. Then you should definitely check out his videos if you want to improve your game in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And yeah, as I said, I'll be posting a link to his YouTube channel and his Twitter page, both on the description. Also, just a little fun fact, if you're from UK or Ireland, he sounds a little bit like Ant and Dec. Well, he sounds like one of them. I think it's just the accent, but I don't know which one's which. I don't think anyone knows which one's which. But yeah, he sounds like them, so that's another little bonus thing. If you're from America, I'm sorry if you don't know who they are. So that is all we have got time for this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. My squeaky voice, some of the PlayStation 2 games that you should probably never play and might or might not get to play. It depends. Not many people might like Fantavision. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And you know, thumbs up for my panda hat. That's for girls, so but I don't really care because it's amazingly soft and I love pandas. Yeah, so please leave a comment, you know, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. This channel, this Masquerade home channel is still just a baby because, you know, I don't know, I think I just still need to get it out there again and, you know, build up the views over time. But, you know, please, if you kind of like the video and, you know, think more people could watch this, yeah, I would seriously appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, I'm not claiming from these videos, so all I'm doing this for is the enjoyment, and I'm doing it for you, and I hope you enjoy it too. So thank you for watching this episode, and I'll see you all again next time on The Masquerade. Yep.